Americans Fear Socialism More Than Death, by Alistair Thackeray. Socialism has become the number one fear of most Americans, with death slipping to second place, according to the results of a recent survey by FearExpress Research Group.
This is not a condemnation of socialism, but merely a product of American jingoism infiltrating the minds of the disgruntled masses,
said Dr. Kirby Raskolnikov, professor of political science at Smetana University College.
The majority of Americans still confuse xenophobia with patriotism. They allow the irrational fear of foreign governments to dictate their political views.
In the survey, Americans were asked to list their top 10 fears and then indicate whether or not they believed each fear influenced their voting record. Over two-thirds of those surveyed said fear of socialism was a determining factor in voting for local and state politicians sponsored by the Tea Party movement, while nearly half of respondents said socialism was the political affiliation shared by Adolf Hitler, Joseph Stalin and Barack Obama. Another 20% indicated Saddam Hussein and Osama bin Laden were also socialists.
As the economic crisis worsens, many Americans are scared, and the right-wing political machine has taken advantage of their fear and named it socialism,
said Vlad Lenin, political commentator and author of the best-selling book, Poor White Cash, The 21st Century Credit Crisis.
At this junction, I doubt most disaffected Americans know anything about socialism or government in general. For them, taxes are synonymous with communism. Apparently, they expect governments to function without taxing citizens, yet somehow provide safety, security, finance wars, and maintain everything from public schools to the basic infrastructure of the nation.
Following death as the second most common fear, evolution taught in public schools was third on the list of top 10 fears. In fourth place, free healthcare was another new addition to the list, adding to the growing dissatisfaction of many Americans who fear the ramifications of providing medicine to the poor, sick and dying.
A substantial number of Americans are completely against any attempts to provide free or low-cost healthcare to the poor,
said Dr. Deepak Chowdhury, who runs a free clinic for the homeless, recently evicted and soon to be foreclosed.
I don't understand why so many Americans want the poor to die from treatable illnesses. Access to health care is not socialism. It is a human right.
Favorite sports team loses championship and gasoline prices held the 5th and 6th places on the list respectively. In 7th place, repealing gun rights maintained its usual place on the list as one of the most common fears of Americans, while the fear of legalizing abortion slipped to 8th place.
Well, with that fuzzy math, it might seem like Americans are more concerned about losing their guns than their unborn babies,
said Buck Broman, Tea Party activist from Texas.
But we here in the Tea Party see the issues as one and the same. We need the guns to protect our daughters from those abortioners.
In 9th place, fear of the de-Christianization of American society revealed the concerns of many respondents who felt embattled in a nation losing its faith. 40% of those surveyed also said removing God from the U.S. currency would be considered a hostile act worthy of civil war, while another 30% said refusing to recite one nation under God is an act of treason that deserves to be punished. Finally, the 10th most common fear of Americans, big words, was not a surprise to high school English teacher Kevin Krikorian.
Literacy in the U.S. is at an all-time low,
Krikorian said.
Most of my students don't know the difference between a socialite and a socialist. Some of them actually think Paris Hilton has a political affiliation.
The top 10 fears of Americans 2010. Number 1. Socialism. Number 2. Death. Number 3. Evolution taught in public schools. Number 4. Free healthcare. Number 5. Favorite sports team loses championship. Number 6. Gasoline prices. Number 7. Loss of gun rights. Number 8. Legalization of abortion. Number 9. De-Christianization of society. And finally, number 10. Big words. This concludes our transmission. Good night, and good luck.